thought I would go.
You know, they keep calling Nate Bargatze the nicest man in stand-up comedy.
And I just work with Ryan Hamilton.
Well, that's what I was thinking, is those two might have to duke that out.
Yeah.
They might have to duke it out.
They both acquiesce to the other. Be like, no, you win. No, you win.
No, you're so nice. I mean, nice is great. Funny's better. Those guys are both very funny dudes.
Very funny.
Bill opened for Ryan Hamilton at Playhouse Square over the weekend.
Yeah. So I had a nice downtown Saturday night. Went open for Ryan Hamilton at the Mimi Ohio Theater, which was great. Great audience. My parents and an aunt and uncle came and saw me. I think it was my aunt and uncle's first time to see me perform, and I think they liked it. I didn't see them afterwards because I had to scoot out of there because I was heading over to the 9 to watch Magic.
Wait, they didn't come backstage to tell you what they thought of the show?
I didn't stay. I had to go to another thing. I had a previous engagement.
Nobody texted?
My mom said she
great
loved
job.
it. Yeah. So I think overall the reviews were good. I think
you got to do a clean set in front of Ryan Hamilton?
Yeah, very clean set. But those audiences love jokes, and there's certain things, little references. Like I made a reference to Newsies, and I knew that audience would eat it up.
Right.
And it was a good time. So that was fun. Ryan's great. Love catching up with him. Known him for almost 20 years now. And then went over and watched the Allens do some magic at the 9.
Right.
And afterwards, this actually kind of goes with what we were just talking about with the lady getting all the oysters. This girl comes up to me, and I'm at the bar hanging out with the Allens. I had a friend there, and then there was another friend that I ran into, and one of the friends, my friend's friend that I ran into, was trying to scam drinks off of me. So she's like,
"What?
Let me see your card."
This is the friend of a friend?
Yeah, and she thought she was being cheeky, but she was that level of drunk where I'm like, this isn't as clever as you think it is.
Right.
But she was just trying to get me to give her my credit card so she could go and buy drinks. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. And she's like, come on, I'm pretty. I'm like, okay.
You're not that pretty.
But even if she was.
Really?
I'm not just going to randomly, just because someone's pretty? Come on.
That's kind of a tacit agreement, though, that they're not pretty enough.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, let's be real. If they were, you'd say, you know what? Yeah, let me take care of you here.
No, because I'm also...
The fact that they say they're pretty, I'm like, ooh, wow, bitch.
Well, no, listen, I don't understand this whole ragging on people for not being humble. You know if you're good looking because people have been telling you your whole life.
But you shove it in someone's face. That's just
not shoving.
It's not polite.
Come on.
To get someone's credit card, hey, man.
I'm trying to run up a credit card bill on someone that you don't even know.
Like, come on, man, I'm super hot.
But Bill's no dummy who's going to get scammed at the bar.
Some people might.
Huh?
Some people might.
Well, that's their fault for being dumb, not the other person's fault for being pretty.
I don't like that.
If you're being good looking, you had nothing to do with it. Like you won the genetic lottery, right? Being dumb is very much your fault because you can rectify that situation.
Dumb is a genetic thing too. I think there's.
I don't think so.
I think there's limits on how smart you can be.
There is intelligence is genetic. Yes.
Oh, stop. Maybe to some degree, but you can't change how you look. I mean, cosmetic surgery aside, I'm saying people walking around who are good looking. If you're dumb, there's a lot of people who are like, well, I can change that. I'll read a lot. I'll teach myself things. See, that's what I'm talking about. Poundcake wants to get by on his looks.
But the thing is...
Anyway, I interrupted your story.
So, yeah, she kept... And she did like 3 times where it was just like repetitive, the same joke again and again. And I was just like, yeah, I get it. And then she ended up buying me shots because she realized it was stupid.
Because there was that moment where she forgot where she was and forgot the scam she was at.
Yeah, she forgot. You never. She's not a good magician. It wasn't the worst thing. It was just like annoying that she kept bringing it up.
It doesn't sound like she's trying to scam you. It sounded like she was using drunk logic on you.
Well, at first I felt very, very. I don't know, because I didn't even know this lady at all.
Right.
So she just was like, give me your card. I was like, no.
This is a lady or a girl?
This is a lady.
Oh, that's all right.
What do you
now
mean, like a girl?
Somewhere.
Like, what's
how old do you think she was?
Probably in her 30s. Is that a girl?
Yeah. A lady is 50 and up.
Oh, she wasn't 50 and up.
Okay.
She was probably in her late 20s, early 30s.
Gotcha. That's a girl.
Okay. That was a girl.
When you're out on a Saturday night, that to me is a girl. Not somebody like, hey, big boy, get over here and buy me some drinks. That's a lady. Not in the strictest sense, but in the social sense. So the situation culminated in what? She bought you a shot.
Yeah.
To kind of make up for it? Or she forgot where she was?
I think she kind of forgot where she was, and she's just like, here, do this shot. And I was like, okay. Yep. And I did, and it was fine. So
you were doing the long con on her. That was pretty.
That was sweet. And
what was the shot of what?
Tequila.
So good.
And I want to shout out that bartender. I didn't get his name, but he was very cool. He was out of something that my friend was trying to order a Greyhound, and they didn't have any grapefruit juice, and he felt bad about it, and gave us a couple free drinks because of it. So I was like, you didn't have to do that. He's like, I felt bad for not having the grapefruit juice, and I'm like, it's not a staple of every bar, so don't worry about it. But he comped us a couple drinks, so that was nice of him.
Well, there you go.
It was a good time, and that Alan's magic show was very fun too.
Yeah.
So it was just a fun Saturday night, and then Friday did a haunted house, and then a Halloween party. Yay! Good weekend, yes.
A haunted house. All right. So that was fun. I know you were going with some friends.
Yeah, well,
to the haunted house.
So the funny thing about the haunted house was it was my friend, well, my friends that are a married couple, and then another one of their friends, which I've met several times to the point where like we're pretty good acquaintances now. So the three dudes walking through are just laughing at the girl getting scared by everything.
Right.
Because when you go to a haunted house, if whoever's reacting is who the actors focus on, and she was very scared. So
not playing it up.
Not playing it up. Yeah. Like she legit was like creeping around corners and screaming, and so we're just laughing our ass off at her. So for me, like haunted houses aren't all that scary because I don't like when I would go with my kids when I was little, I would play it up and I would scream and have fun with it. But when someone else is doing it genuinely, you're just like, I'm not going to join in on this. I'm just going to enjoy watching them scream and be terrified. When's the last time you went to a haunted house?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, years. And I just go, again, the haunted houses are fine. I just go, hey, you got me. Yeah. Whatever. I mean, it's hey, you got me. I mean, because it's like
there are a few moments because they had some good animatronics and stuff that were in the ceiling, and those are the things that I wasn't expecting. So the drop downs from the ceiling were legit like jump scares for me. But they had a lot of actors, which was nice because sometimes you'll go to these haunted houses and it's 2 or 3 actors in the whole thing, and so you're just basically walking through a maze the whole time.
There's big long lulls in between.
This one, they had a ton of actors.
Is this a haunted house that advertises with us?
I don't think so.
All right, well, don't mention them.
All right.
But you had a good time.
I did have a good time.
All right.
It was long, too. It was, it was probably like a 30-minute haunted house, which is a long time to be in there.
Oh, God. The one we went to out in Conneaut, that was like an hour each house. It was a...
what?
Oh, my God.
That's too long.
It's too much of a semi-good thing.
Because, there was multiple houses, and then they...
An hour, from, not waiting in line, going through the haunted house was an hour.
It was like 45 minutes each house.
How many houses?
Like 4.
You guys spend 4 hours in haunted houses?
It was a long time.
Oh, my God.
I don't remember the name of it, but, we drove all the way out there.
Make it 15 minutes in each house.
But what took
Do yourself a favor, haunted house employees.
The first one was just like what Bill said. It was like a maze, and these people literally were walking around in here, and you could see everyone walking around they were see-through walls. It was almost like 13 Ghosts, but you didn't know how to get the hell out.
Okay, so that one makes sense why it was long.
We kept running into stinking zombies, and I'm like, come on, man. He's like, I'm not breaking character for you. Shut the hell up. I'm like, come on.
Sounds like you already did.
You already did, dummy.
He was like, follow these guys here. He's like, nowhere out. Nowhere. And he kept pushing us in the right direction. No way out. I'm like, damn it.
Oh, God.
So that one took really long, and then these were like really, really long. it was a while ago, but the other ones were like really long trailers, and it was just like you just go through and someone's trying to butcher you. The other one has a chainsaw.
Well, I know what's going on inside, but I have a feeling these were not 45 minutes per haunted house. That's insane.
Sounds like they'd have to charge you $50 a ticket.
I mean, a lot of these places are like $50 a ticket.
It was like that.
Haunted houses are not cheap, but it's a ton of production that goes into it.
I was going to say, you got to pay the actors fairly, so I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with it too. I'd rather have a good experience than go to a discount haunted house and just basically a spirit Halloween with the lights off.
Boo. Like someone out there like me.
Let me give you some money here. It's $1,000 from the Buzzard Bookie. Listen closely. I hope you win. Good luck.
This is your chance to bet with the Buzzard Bookie and win $1,000 now. Enter this nationwide keyword at WMMS.com. Win. That's win. Enter it now at WMMS.com.
Alan, are you going to talk about Suzanne Summers dying? Suzanne Summers died. There. People who don't remember Suzanne Summers, she was on my favorite show as a kid. She was on a show called Three's Company. This was a big, big sitcom.
Is that the Arms of an Angel chick?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope, that would be Sarah McLachlan, who is still very much alive. Suzanne Summers died. She would have been 77 years old today. She died yesterday. She had a 3-decade-long battle with breast cancer. And she was one of the first celebrities I can recall. Her and the Dukes of Hazzard guys. One of the first massive celebrities I can recall back in the 70s where they wanted more money because they had really blown up from the show. And the show said nope and got rid of them. It was Suzanne Summers. They did it to John Schneider and Tom Wopat over at the Dukes of Hazzard as well. But Suzanne Summers got really, really famous. She was winning like Female Entertainer of the Year in the mid-70s from Three's Company. It was her, John Ritter, Joyce DeWitt. And they replaced the blonde a couple of times on Three's Company. Now, possibly what didn't go so well for her was that her husband was her manager. Suzanne Summers was her husband's mistress. And he had been a married guy named Alan Hamill, who she was married to this very day. They were married a long time. She married to this guy named Alan Hamill, who was a TV producer. And he was married, but he knocked her up. And they didn't have the kid, but they got divorced his wife, married Suzanne Summers. They were married until her death. So she's on Three's Company. She was on a show later on called Step by Step that a lot of people might remember. That was Patrick Duffy.
That's really more what I know her from is that
Yeah, that was like her 90s kind of thing. She did, there was a short-lived sitcom called She's the Sheriff that she was on. But she made most of her money from the Thigh Master because she and her husband owned 100% of Thigh Master. And so they made about $300 million off of the Thigh Master.
Holy crap.
Yeah. But her story about getting fired from Three's Company was an early showbiz lesson for her.
It was year 6 and my contract is now up. I want you to pay me what you're paying the men. And I say to John and Joyce at the end of the season before, you know, my contract's up. You two have already renegotiated. I'm going to ask for big money and a piece of the back end. And if you two back me up because we have favored nations, we'll all get it. So I'll be the patsy. In the morning when my husband had left for this meeting, he said, you know, this could all blow out of the water. And I said, they're not going to get rid of Chrissy. Never think that you're not replaceable. Rule number 1.
Yeah, her husband was her manager. So he goes in and is negotiating for her. That almost never goes well when you're married to your manager because you're not separating your personal and your professional decision-making. But they made more than their money back on that Thigh Master.
I use the Thigh Master every day of my life. I do 50 in the morning, 50 mid-afternoon, and 50 while I'm lying in bed at night. And I could crack walnuts with my thighs. I live a good life. And 1995 times 10 million. So kind of do the math, you know, and we're probably at 15 million now. we had partners 50-50, and they got drunk on money when it all started selling, and they overspent to the point where they could no longer afford to be in their side of the business. So we bought them out. We have 100%.
So they made a ton of money on that Thighmaster, which is just a padded spring that you put between your legs.
But it's simple.
Try to keep it tight.
And it it works. She's got great thighs.
An actress named Piper Laurie also died. She was 91. She was older than, but you might remember her. She was in Twin Peaks. She was in, I think she was in American Graffiti. She was Carrie's mom in the movie Carrie, that original version with Sissy Spacek.
Mm-hmm.
That was Stephen King's first published book, and it was his first film adaptation. And this actress, Piper Laurie, was the crazy religious. Remember the movie Carrie? She like throws her in the prayer closet because she got her period. All this wild stuff. She passed away.
When are you going on about, Carrie?
I've been invited to the prom.
Prom?
Yeah, the senior prom. You know, his name's Tommy Ross, and he's a very nice boy, Mama.
No.
And he promised to stop him and
I
meet
said
me
no.
before and have me in my midnight. Mama, I
No,
accepted,
no,
Mama.
no.
I accepted, Mama. I accepted.
Come to your closet.
No. He's a nice boy, Mom. You like him. You really like him, Mama.
Well, you're not going.
Already said I would.
Tell that boy you're not going, or I'm going to move from here.
No.
We're going to move. If you go to the prom, we're moving. Piper Laurie, boy, she had a life. She wrote a book years ago. She's like, I lost my virginity to Ronald Reagan when I was 18 and he was 40.
Whoa.
There's a really early Mel Gibson movie called Tim. She was in that. Had an affair with him where basically the ages were flipped. So she had fun, boy. She got around. They say celebrities die in threes. I don't know who the third one is. But Piper Laurie and Suzanne Summers. And again, Suzanne Summers still looked pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, she had that Thighmaster working for her. She had some cosmetic surgery, but who cares? Living a good life, boy. I got to take another break here. I'll have Alkaline Trio tickets for you. They're going back on the road. Matt Skiba done with his tenure in Blink 182. And when Mark Hoppus was dealing with all the cancer stuff, they got Matt Skiba in the mix there. But he's back on the road with Alkaline Trio. So if you dig those guys, I will have a couple of tickets for you after the break. They're doing the